This is Channel 2.
Good evening. A major fire in Auckland has gutted 6 classrooms at Kelston Boys High School when it was thought there could be a threat from burning chemical gases, but it's since been discovered chemicals weren't stored in the affected block, and the fire is now out. And a middle-aged man is dead after his car plunged down a bank and into a river north of Upper Hutt. The man was dragged from the car, but attempts to resuscitate him failed. Police say they now have several new suspects in one of New Zealand's biggest unsolved murders. More than 100 people phoned the police after last night's Crime Watch programme on Tracy Ann Patient, who was strangled to death in West Auckland 14 years ago.
Among vital new evidence police were checking today was several new suspects for the Patient murder. Police say following last night's Crime Watch reconstruction, 4 new people were nominated as possible killers. Police still want to hear from a mystery caller who rang them 2 years after the murder. He told them where Tracy's signet ring was discarded and left a puzzling number, 126040, which he said was relevant to the case.
There's been a call tonight for tougher penalties to protect New Zealand's antiquities. It follows what appears to have been an attempt to smuggle rare moa fossils out of New Zealand. The remains were found in the baggage of a Japanese film crew which was flying out of the country. A tip-off led to customs officers finding the remains packed in film canisters. The crew had been under observation since it arrived in the South Island to make a documentary on the moa. One man is likely to appear in court tomorrow. NZ Airlines today moved to quash rumours it was pulling out of New Zealand. There's been concern about the airline's future following losses of around $100 million since its launch 3 years ago. But NZ says it's here to stay and is planning to add a service from Christchurch to the Chatham Islands. European ministers have failed for the second time this week to agree on cutting farm subsidies by 30%. The failure to agree throws European strategy for upcoming GATT talks into disarray. And it's a setback to New Zealand and American campaigns to cut subsidies worldwide by 75%. Conservationists say they have real fears about the survival of the yellow-eyed penguin. It's one of the world's rarest penguins. In the last year, their numbers have dropped by half, down to 120 pairs. Man's interference is partly to blame. But the campaign to save the yellow-eyed penguin has been boosted by a $65,000 donation from the Mainland Cheese Company. A former judge of Britain's top literary award, the Booker Prize, has herself won this year's honour. The British novelist Antonia Byatt, the sister of author Margaret Drabble, wins $80,000 for her romantic detective novel Possession. The respected 56-year-old writer was so surprised by the win, she was left speechless. On to tomorrow's weather now, and for the top half of the North Island, showers with fine intervals. In the lower North Island, cloudy at first, then mainly fine. And in the South Island, fine, apart from some rain in southern Fiordland tomorrow evening. That's all from Newsbreak tonight. Good night.